What is up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to the series, the Hybrid Athlete series, where I'm going to take you with me on my journey to become a hybrid athlete, meaning that I am capable of strength, endurance, and power all at the same time. Recently, I've been super busy. I've been working a lot, doing a lot of school, and I've been at home doing my workouts, not here in the gym. And even though I'm at the gym here today, I want to show you guys what I've been doing at home with just using circular bands. Because my workouts have been fairly inconsistent, I've been doing a lot of full body workouts. I like full body workouts when I'm inconsistent, just because you know you're going to hit every body part the same, no matter if you're doing 2 times a week or if you're doing 4 times a week. You're still hitting the same ratio of upper body, lower body, push, pull, that kind of stuff. It's all pretty consistent as far as total volume goes. So today I'm going to show you a full body workout with these circular bands. Okay, so this is going to be my workout for today. Very simple, just 6 exercises. I've got them in superset fashion because I've been so busy. Having supersets makes it go by a little bit quicker. So doing 2 exercises back to back makes it so you're not taking as much time to rest. You get more exercises in less time. So first superset, we're going front squat and shoulder press. We're gonna do 3 sets of 12, and that's pretty consistent down the whole line. Good mornings and push-ups are gonna be the next one. 3 sets of 12 for both of those. Rows and split squats are gonna be the next one. 3 sets of 12 and 3 sets of 16, so 8 on each leg for the split squat. Front squat, shoulder press, we're gonna be working quads and shoulders. Good mornings and push-ups, we're gonna be working glutes, hamstrings, and chest and triceps. Rows and split squats, you're going to be working back, biceps, split squats, mainly for quads, a little bit of glutes and hamstrings too. Okay, so for the front squats, I use the thick band. How you're going to do it is standing on the band with it about right around mid-foot, and your feet are about the same width as you would do with the barbell. You're going to bring it up in front of you, right around your shoulders, hold it out in front of your chest like you're doing a front squat with the barbell, and do it just like normal. Squatting down, press it back up. Cool thing with the band is it kind of messes with the strength curve, meaning it's not the same weight all the way through the entire lift. So at the bottom, it's going to be easier where you're the weakest, and at the top, it's going to be a little bit harder where you're the strongest. For the shoulder press, we're going to use a little bit thinner band. We're just going to go one arm at a time. So I like to put it around the midfoot again and have the band sit right across your palm like you would hold a barbell or a dumbbell. Same exact grip. Rotate it up, and you're just going to press it straight up and out like you're doing a normal shoulder press. Just one arm at a time. This kind of helps keep the core activated. Having resistance on one side makes it so you got to use your core to keep your torso upright. As you can see, I've got the band, one side on the inside, one side on the outside. So as you're pressing up, that weight is right over the top of your shoulder. So as you may have noticed, I keep my other hand that's not working right here on my torso, right across my abs. And this just acts as kind of an external reminder to keep my core tight. So if I were to push on my core as I'm doing it, it should feel nice and hard. And that is a good indicator that I'm keeping my core tight. As I mentioned before, because you're only loading one side, you got to keep both sides of your core contracted to keep your torso upright. So a lot of core activation. And in this kind of exercise. All right, the next one is the good mornings. We're gonna use a thick band again. And this one can be a little bit tricky, and I'll show you why here in a second. But you gotta be very careful with it because there is some potential for injury if you don't do it right, like any lift, I guess. But the best way I found to set up for this one is put that band right across your upper back like this. You don't want it up on your neck. And the reason being is because the weight is gonna be pulling you down and forward. So if that is up on your neck, all that strain is gonna be on your neck instead of on your back and your shoulders. So get it across like your upper back, lower shoulders. You're gonna bring the band down behind you, step on it, and you want the band to come back behind your arms. So you're kind of holding it up with your arms and your upper back. So feet are about shoulder width apart. You're gonna come down until you feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and then bring it straight back up, okay? You should feel this one mainly in the glutes and the hamstrings, keeping your back straight the whole time. We're just hinging at the hips, keeping the knees just slightly bent, almost straight. Feeling it contract on the way up, feeling it stretch on the way down. We're gonna go 12 reps with it. Not a ton of weight, but just going nice and slow and controlled will help you feel that. Instead of adding more load, we're just creating more time under tension by going slow. So as I mentioned, you should kind of feel it stretch in the hamstrings as you're going down. And the reason being is because you're keeping your back straight, you're keeping your knees basically straight, and you're just thinking about bending at the hips. So pushing your butt backwards on the way down, and then pushing your hips forward on the way up. So the whole motion is just hinging at the hips. There should be no movement at the knees, no movement at the back, all just right there at the hips. Okay, so the next one is push-ups. For chest, a lot of people will do some sort of variation of like a bench press where they put it around the bench and they're pressing forward with it, or they'll just put it around their back like they did. But honestly, I think a better option is just to do push-ups. If you can't do it with the band, you're okay with doing normal push-ups, then do it just normal. But if you need a little extra resistance, if you're focusing on strength, and you can do like 50 push-ups before you really feel it start to work, add a band to it. So you're gonna put your hands around the band just like you would hold onto a bar or a dumbbell. Put that band around your upper back, so it should sit kind of like that. And then you're just gonna do normal push-ups. And what this is gonna do is add a little bit more resistance on that pressing motion. Okay, a little bit harder at the top, a little bit easier at the bottom. So it should look something like this. So as I mentioned before, using bands messes with the strength curve. So the weight isn't the same throughout the whole lift. So when you get to the top, it gets harder. So you get a really nice squeeze at the top, good stretch at the bottom, really feeling it in the pecs, shoulders, and triceps. All right, for the rows, you're going to be using the purple band again, the medium band. The best way I've found to do this one is just sit on the ground. You're going to have both sides of the band around the midfoot there. You want to make sure you got about the same length on each side of your foot, so you're not off center with one of the sides. You're going to lean back just slightly, hold on, just like you would hold on to like a bar or a dumbbell like the other lifts, and keeping your legs straight, your back straight. You're just gonna pull straight back, puff your chest out, roll your shoulder blades back and together, just like you would do with a normal row, but using the band. And again, this one is really good for feeling that squeeze, that contraction at the back, because it gets harder and harder as you go. So the further you pull it back, the harder it's going to get, the more you're going to feel that squeeze. So this one is mainly for the upper mid back, a little bit of the lats, a little bit of the rear delt, as well as the biceps. But what I really like about this one is the grip on it. Because you're having to hold on to the band, which is pliable, it's soft, it kind of bends as you're holding on to it, unlike a bar, which is stiff and it's big around. This is a little bit harder to grip, so you feel it in the forearms, in the hands as well. As you're pulling back, you feel it up. It wants to slide up in your fingertips, and you gotta kind of have to force it back in your hand, getting those forearm muscles working. Okay, and the last one is gonna be the split squat. We're gonna use the smaller band. And this one's gonna be similar to the front squat with your grip, except you're gonna be a split stance, meaning one foot is out in front of the other. You want your front foot flat on the ground, your back foot kind of up on your toe, okay? So you want that band right around your midfoot. You're gonna bring it up just like the front squat, holding it right across your shoulders and chest. And you're gonna do a normal split squat, just dropping that back knee down, going up and down. You want your front knee to at least get to a 90-degree angle. This helps work the quads and the glutes and hamstrings as well. You should feel it a little bit in that back quad as you're pushing yourself up. You should feel it stretch as you're going down, but it's mainly for that front foot. You want to keep most of your weight on the front foot. I like doing split squats or lunges or something where it's a little more single leg, just because it requires a little bit more balance and stability. It involves a few of the stabilizing muscles that you wouldn't normally get if you were doing a double leg exercise like a squat. This is very, very helpful when you get up into those higher weights. Things are a little bit more unstable. Very good for everyday life where you're walking on ground that's not flat. You're going upstairs on one leg, things like that. Most of the things we do in everyday life are on a single leg and not on both legs. And another big reason that I like single leg exercises, especially split stance style things, are because it requires you to have a little bit more flexibility and mobility throughout the hips and the ankles, which is always a good thing. The more mobility you have, the better off you'll be, safer you'll be doing exercises where you're pushing the limits of those joints. So, right, like this one, you got to push your knee kind of far over the top of your toe as you're coming down. And your hips got to be able to fully extend back behind you on that back leg. So, it requires a little bit more mobility than, say, a squat or a leg press or something like that. All right, there you have it. Thanks for joining me. That's a good full body workout you can do at home if you've got those circular bands, or even in the gym. It's a good alternative that you could do if you're not feeling up to using dumbbells and barbells that day. So give it a try. Let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me on my journey to become a hybrid athlete, and we'll see you next time.